My favourite lens choice for street photography is either a 28mm or a 35mm. I switch between the two, and that's pretty much all I've been using for the past few years now. And I thought it was about time to change things up, because I don't want to get stuck in a rut and have my photography stagnant. I want to keep pushing myself and experimenting and trying new things. So I've found the perfect focal length to take out onto the streets. So I've decided I'm going to jump to an 85mm for my street photography for a while. Now, these two lenses, these are my only two lenses that I take with me when I travel, when I do travel photography, general photography. Pretty much everywhere I go, these are the lenses of choice, a 35mm and an 85mm. And these are both from Viltrox, and they're both f1.8. But I never use this for street photography. Actually, I'm going to take this one with me, not that one. This is a Viltrox, and it's a brand new 85mm from their Pro line, and it's an f1.4. So I'm curious to know if this heavier, slightly more expensive lens is worth it. 1.4, 1.8. This gives you an extra 2/3 of a stop of light. Now, I shoot a lot of indoor stuff, a lot of evening, nighttime stuff when I'm out and about. So let's find out how it does.
Yeah, my name is James Graham. I've been doing street photography for approximately 6.5 years. And I do it on my bike. So my bike is my studio. So wherever my bike is my studio. I shoot all over Toronto, and I do not shoot unless I get permission. And I shoot usually with micro four thirds. This one is a Luminix, Panasonic, and I usually shoot with a 50 by 200 lens, and I love it. It's great for portraits.
That's the first time I've ever bumped into him. Really interesting chap. Anybody he likes the look of, he just goes and asks them if he can shoot them. Very, very fearless. He said to me, 95% of the time people are more than happy to pose if you ask them. So that's a good tip. I've actually found that myself. If you ask people and you're polite and you show an interest in them, they'll say yes. The sun is now getting low, so we're going to head off to the financial district of the city and see what's there. Shooting street photography with a 28, 35 or even 50mm lens gives you a sense of authenticity. It's a very natural field of view, so very good for documentary style photography, which most street photography is. So moving to an 85mm focal length, that takes us away from documentary into a more cinematic world. This kind of shooting with an 85mm feels more intentional. We can get a cleaner image. We can get rid of clutter, distracting backgrounds by using a shallow depth of field, particularly with an f1.4 aperture. But at the same time, you've got to be careful, because with street photography in particular, context is everything, and you can lose context very easily. So at the moment, I'm thinking street portraits are the best use for an 85mm. I've realized another benefit with this focal length is if you're new to street photography or you're a little bit shy, it allows you to be a little bit further away from your subject. So you go unnoticed a lot easier than being right in somebody's face with a wider lens. And you can very easily capture candid moments like these. As the light got lower, I wanted to have a play with this lens and all the Christmas lights that were everywhere. The idea was to shoot wide open at f1.4 and create layers of lights, have some lights close up to the camera, further away, and create lots of depth and lots of glowing orbs. Is orbs the right word? I don't know, and I don't really care. I wanted to create something that was cinematic because we've got the classic orange Christmas lights, and we've got the cool winter environment around us, which is blue. So we've got the whole teal and orange thing going on. Very cinematic. So I was just messing about. And with a little color grading, it's quite easy to create that filmic look, which is a look I rather like, even though it's been done to death. We'll do an abstract. So the light is starting to fade and all these little Christmas lights are on, and it's very, very pretty. And there's a bar in here that's quite dimly lit, and I'm thinking if I shoot through this tree with the Christmas lights on, a very shallow depth of field, I might be able to get something quite, well, pretty, I suppose is the word. This is a 1.4, it's a new one. Viltrox sent it to me to test. Now, if you're new to this channel, I don't review gear, but I do have to take it out and test it because I write reviews and articles for f-stoppers. So I get to use this lens today, which is kind of cool. It's just the right lens I need. Let's give this a go. If I can focus on that bartender through those trees, that might just work. I'm going to interrupt this video with a quick ad, and it's brought to you by me. Yes, me. Moving forward into the new year, I'm going to be offering online portfolio reviews, mentoring, and one-on-one tuition if you're interested. All the details are in the description below on my website. Back to the video. To be honest, it's so cold, it's not a lot of fun trying to make a video and take photos at the same time. So even with gloves, my hands are frozen. But I'm going to make them warm up now, because up ahead we've found some steam vents that are kicking out a heck of a lot of steam. And I got some fantastic shots. I think it was here at the beginning of the year or the end of last year. Back then I was actually doing long handheld exposures, motion blur, and these steam vents featured in that. So I might do something similar again this evening, but well, this time with an 85 rather than a 28, which is what I had last time. When I was here last time, this building had scaffolding around it, so the scaffolding really helped create, well, it helped frame the shot. It helped frame the people quite nicely that I was shooting that were standing in the vent. I'm not sure it's as good now. Certainly on this side. Around the other side, well, I'll show you. There's Andy, he's already found the spot. So, if I come down here and get really low and just wait for the right people to be in the right place and wait for that steam, for the wind to blow the steam just right, that's going to be fantastic. And I love this pigeon. Thank you, pigeon, for hanging around. The highlight of the day was shooting the steam vents downtown. And here's a great example of why I prefer black and white photography. In this photo, the color doesn't contribute in any way. It actually distracts. The red bag jumps out for no good reason, drawing our eyes from what is important, and that's the guy and the dog. This photo is all about the atmosphere of the scene created by the steam in the background and the reaction of the dog seeing the pigeon and how the guy's interacting with that too. It's all about feeling and emotion. Color isn't needed. That was my favorite photo from the whole day. That one's a keeper. So I'm going to be using 85mm more often for street photography, I think, because with this focal length you're shooting with more intentionality. I discovered with this lens I was composing shots more rather than reacting. That means I was fishing rather than hunting. I was finding my spot and waiting rather than just walking around and hoping to find a situation where I could grab that decisive moment. Yeah, and this Viltrox F1.4 version is very impressive. I noticed the autofocus is a little bit snappier than my F1.8 version for low light and tricky situations like trying to shoot somebody through mist. This did a very, very good job. And I usually shoot manual focus for street when I'm using wider lenses, but this I'm definitely using the autofocus, and it's very responsive. And the extra 2/3 of a stop of light did actually make a difference. That translates to having 67% more light come through the lens from 1.8 to 1.4. 60% more, 67% more light. That is very useful for nighttime photography, I found. So, thanks for watching. See you next time.